Want to continue the conversation about when if you identify someone that needs some help and kind of what to do from there. And again, going to have this series about how to walk through this. And it occurred to me that I'm pretty conscious about how I do this. So I do not review anything I I tape. I just do it and I put it up. And then I also do not go back and look at any kind of views or anything like that. And there's specific reasons I do that. And I think I've probably gone over that in some previous things, and it's not important now. But what I do want to make sure, because um, just for quality purposes, I don't know how I sound, if I sound okay with these earbuds in. If I don't, if the quality's not good, then I would like to know that. So um, if the quality is not good and if this is not a good way to do it and there's a better way, please let me know. Always happy to buy equipment. It's one of my favorite things to do. But if I don't need it, I don't want it. And so if this works, I'm happy to do it this way. But uh, anyway, just as an aside, so let me know, please. So want to start again with this idea of identifying someone that needs help, and I'm just going to do a pretty quick kind of decision tree about what to do with some of the possible avenues that can happen, and kind of where to go from when from these different points, and we'll start the um, with the individual um, here. Excuse me, let me write that out. So if um, we have the individual that you've identified that uh, that needs help, right? So we have the person here, clearly a person in need of a lot of help, um, and you've asked them, you've approached them in some way, and one of the things I said, if you've identified someone that needs help, the first thing you want to do is just ask them, right? Approach them, say, it seems like there's some things going on that maybe you could use help with, and would you like some help? Now, prior to this, you want to have identified some places where they can get help, either an individual or a facility that they can get help. So obviously we have one or two ways to go here. We can get a yes, or we can get a no, right? So if we get a yes, we want to have a place to go, call or lined up right away. We want to have this done. So we want to have an institution to go to, or at least a phone. I just realized I'm going to try to draw a phone. And I, again, my artistic abilities are pretty fantastic. That's somehow a phone. Uh, you want to have a place to call or a place to go like right away. Um, Now, let me step back here for a second. A place to go. Um, there was a time when there were a handful of treatment centers, and they were kind of you knew what was out there, and there were the best of the best, and you knew it. And there were these giants in the treatment industry, and they were wonderful, wonderful people. There's one right there. That's Father Martin, and he was one of them. And there were others, right? There were these just places that were just incredible. And then something happened. Um, Again, one of the things I say is where some people see an epidemic, others see an opportunity. And the treatment industry quickly turned into what looks like a real estate industry. And it's hard to decipher what is a treatment program from a marketing campaign. And so I really want to urge you to do your due diligence with this. And as with anything else, um, don't look for a website because it's anyone can build a website. And I would, I mean, I shouldn't say that the better the website, the worse the place, because that's certainly not true. But I would say that if you find a website that promises the world, I'd almost hesitate because here's the thing about treatment is you want something that you want a place that specializes in helping people. And what you find is that if someone says they specialize in everything, then they specialize in nothing. Because a specialization requires an immense amount of practice and studying and knowledge. And one of the things as the more you specialize, part of the Dunning-Kruger effect is the more that the more you know you'll never know. Now, what happens conversely is people that first get into this and see that there's opportunity here, they just throw everything at the wall and say they specialize in everything, and they just use catchphrases and buzzwords. And look, while these places may be helpful, I would also say that they can be predatory. And there are places that call themselves treatment centers that are deadly. They're harmful because we're dealing with a vulnerable population. And there are things I see and places I see, and I don't know if these are influencers or these are treatment professionals. And it's a sad state of affairs. So, as a family, as a loved one, um, please do your due diligence. And what I would say is, call some local therapists in the area, call maybe a hospital in the area, and ask who they use, ask who they trust. Um, if you're in my area, I'm in the Northeast, you're very lucky. I mean, we have some tremendous, tremendous treatment centers right here. A place I was most recently employed as is the best treatment center I've ever worked for, bar none. And I've worked at some tremendous, the best in the world treatment centers. Place called Harbor of Grace. Now they treat first responders, but they are the best in the world at it. Um, Another place that I think does not get what it deserves, there is a place in Baltimore, the Helping Up Mission, which is just amazing, amazing the work that they do. And there are a lot of these other places that just do amazing work, and they do it quietly and they do it just well. They're just so good at what they do in the scope of services, and they're not out there posting and showing and just having one business developer meet with another business developer talking about collaboration, because they're not collaborating. They're just talking about it. But there are these other people that are doing the work with people, and that's where I would send my loved one. So do your due diligence, but have these places ready to go, okay? And then so that's if you get a yes, right? And I'll step off the soapbox. Now, what if you get a no? Um, what I want to tell you about a no is I almost let's do this. Let's put quotes around this because I don't want you to lose hope here, right? So I want to let you know about a farmer who plants a seed. You could think that a farmer plants a seed and then comes back the next day and sees it the dirt just look the same with no crop and think, well, that didn't work. What a waste of time and money and effort. And think nothing's happening. But there's a lot happening. right? That seed is taking root, and there's all kinds of things happening, but these other things need to come together, right? There needs to nutrients from the soil. There needs to come water from the sky. There needs to come sunlight. All these other things, time. And so, what you never know when you offer help is how that seed's going to be planted and what's going to happen from there. So, it's really important after, if you hear this, what you do next. And so, the one thing to be sure once you offer help is now, no matter what, there's going to be change, right? So this is a sure thing. There's going to be change here because now it's different. Either they get help or they say no, which means you need to start behaving differently. So you can't go about what you were doing. So now the first thing I would do is to have the follow-up statement, right? Okay, well, I understand that. I'm sorry to hear that. However, I would like to have you call this place or talk to these people, or we'll go see this place. I'm going to check in with you again in a week or so, just so you know. Um, and then we want to do this kind of detaching with love, which means that um, I'm sorry that at this time you're saying no, you don't want to do this. However, I can no longer XYZ. And so I'm not this is not leaving, this is not abandoning, this is not, some bottom line. It's just that I'm detaching, but I'm doing so because I love you. I'm not leaving, I'm actually here with you. I'm here for the version of you that wants to live, and I'm not here for the version of you that is trying to actively kill yourself. Right? That's the statement. And so now I check back in later and I see if this can maybe lead to this yes. And if so, then we go to this place, right? And I can just become a broken record and I just keep doing this over and over and over. So now perhaps this just keeps going, no. So I can always kind of up the ante here, and I talked about last time where we can do the intervention, we can bring more people in, and we can also, if we're talking about kind of these roads, because addiction cannot exist in a vacuum. There always has to be these avenues of support and help, as much as addicts and alcoholics want to think that, or people, addicted to these things want to think that they're so unique and they need help to do it. So we can start cutting off these avenues of support and essentially just making it harder to use rather than easier to use, right? Again, we're not doing it mean or cruel. We're stifling the illness, not the person. There's a difference, clear difference there. We're helping the person, but not the illness. And so again, in doing so, maybe we get this yes again. So they say yes, and there's this moment of happiness and celebration and joy, and you're so happy, and then the fear comes back. Because just because someone agrees to say yes to treatment and get help doesn't mean it's all better, right? Now there's just a new worry because this illness starts to kind of rob your ability to hold out hope, which is, okay. It's not faith healing. You can wait for the evidence, but so you take them into the treatment, and now what I would recommend most of all is that you find something that's going to help you. That you find Al-Anon or another support group. You find something, a therapist, someone to talk to. You find someone, an alumni group, a peer support, something that is going to help you while they go through what they go through. Because now there needs to be a handoff, right? Now that you're putting them in the hands of these professionals that are helping them, and this is going to be a tough step because you've had these rules come into play that you don't even know are rules yet, that you've been kind of at the center of this, and you're going to try to step out, and that's not easy. As much as you may want to, it's not easy to leave that role. In addition, you're going to leave that role while you're holding all this responsibility for that person being gone. Even if they weren't doing a lot of things well, they may still have been doing a lot of things and now they're gone. And all this wreckage is going to come to the surface. You need a lot of support. So they may have been this identified patient in the beginning, but I'm here to tell you everyone's affected. And so while they've been the focus, and while they're now in safe hands and they're as safe as can be, right? They're so supported. You now please take care of yourself. Get the help you need, and the basic building blocks as well, right? Get the right sleep. Try to eat the right food. Try to exercise if you can, and then get that support of people who know what you're going through, so they can help you through this. It's really, really important. You're not going to get better because someone else is getting better. That's not how this works. You are now on your own journey. And so please start that as soon as you can with the support you can. You don't have to do it alone. It's not easy, but it's easier than that, right? So please do that. Realize that this is going to be difficult at every step. It's difficult to deal with someone in active addiction. It's difficult to deal with someone getting help. It's difficult to deal with someone brand new in recovery. It's difficulty dealing with someone getting out of it. It's like the idea of, okay, I can now breathe. You can, but you're going to have to do that regardless of what this other person's doing. And that's one of the lessons you learn in recovery, is that you need to get better regardless. Your wellness cannot be contingent on what this other person's doing. That's been the problem, one of the problems. So please take care of yourself. And the next message will be about kind of those first days in treatment. I'll probably just go 24 hours, then days, and then week in treatment. That'll be one video, and I'll try to put that up in the next day or so. Hopefully that helps. If I missed anything, please reach out. Let me know. Thank you.